Yo, 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 come on in, man. Come on in. It's draft day, man. It is draft day. Come on in, man. Let's talk, man. Let's talk and have some fun today. We ain't with no drama today. Let's talk, have some fun, and let's talk some Falcon football. Let's talk some NFL draft. Whatever y'all want to talk, we can talk it. So come on in. Chris, what's up, man?
Hey man, we're halfway there to the draft. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and who goes tonight. And of course, leading up until Friday, so where we get to make a pick. But of course, we're here to talk about a few things that's been going on in the news. Nothing bigger than our guy that we drafted, 10.5 sacks, JPJ. He just got some interesting news. And this is what it all boils down to, man. Sometimes you just can't go out there and put people guilty before you have all the news, all
Yeah,
the facts, all that good
yeah.
stuff like that.
And I ain't gonna lie, Chris. I gave him hell, man. I gave him hell. I ain't gonna lie, because it was looking cloudy for a minute. But when they dropped that 5 year charge of what it was assault on a police officer, yeah, that
Yeah,
was good. That was good news. It was downhill from there. So I mean,
honestly,
shot. Go ahead.
I'm not going to say honestly, the one with the police officer, that one was the one that scared me the most, just because if the officer want to go further with it or don't want to let it go, it ain't gonna get let go. So I
Right.
was worried about that. A lot of the allegations and everything I've seen stuff like that get dropped before. I've been in courtrooms and stuff like that getting dropped, so that didn't necessarily surprise me. But
Right.
the fact, but all in all, though, man, this was an unfortunate situation. I am glad though, Smitty. 'Cause remember, I talked about that before. I said, man, I hope it doesn't like draw out past the draft and kind of like
Yeah, you
handcuff
did
us
say
out.
that.
And I'm
Yeah.
so glad. It's so funny that it's coming out, today, the day of the start of the draft. But I'm happy that we are able to at least know what's going to happen. Of course, it was dropped on Twitter that that the charges will be dropped, but JPJ will have to go through a program, a Florida program that was approved, and Rakia Jackson has also agreed to this as well. So it is one of those situations, Smitty. When you look at it, it's like, okay, Rakia, I mean, to a degree, she could have pressed for something worse or whatever, but they all have careers and things don't work out. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I hated the whole situation that happened. But hey, man, This is like kind of like sweat off your
Hey
brow.
man,
It's sweat off your brow.
facts. Before we go on, man, we got to shout out to the chat before we get started.
Oh
We got
yeah,
a special
always.
guest. Well, he ain't no special guest. He family here. Y'all see him here all the time. We got Ryan from the Birdcage LLC joining us today, man. Talk to these two hot topics. Before I let him introduce himself, man, we got to say what's to the chat. Ivan, what's good, my guy? JT, Joel Baxter, Prince Kale 89, what's good, my guy? Uh,
Said it.
Thomas Freeland, what's good? Robert Blackman, what's up, my guy? Miss Drill, what's good? What's good?
What's happening?
Meech, what's up, my guy? Been a minute, Meech. What's good, man?
Yeah,
You got
man.
to holler at me soon. Zay, what's up, man? Miss Tiff, what's good? What's good? What's good?
How y'all feeling?
RB,
All
what's up,
be.
my guy? He said, as always, he from the strip in Las Vegas. Hey man, hit one of
Mm-hmm.
them slot machines. Hit one of them slot machines for big money and send me a super chat.
Mm-hmm.
Trillion,
Trinity.
what's up, my guy? What's good? Jason Roberts, what's good, man?
Yep.
I know
Thomas.
Jason.
TJ.
I know Jason been waiting on us to talk about this because I'm sure he hit me on Twitter and said something about it. TJ, what's up, my guy?
What's
J
going
Dot,
on,
what's
man?
good, man? Y'all in here today, man. Y'all share this. Ricardo, what's good, my guy? Ricardo, the Falcon, real Falcon fan, man.
Condo.
Y'all go check him out on YouTube. He doing his
Yeah,
thing over there,
man.
man. I'm sure he gonna be on
Yeah.
later. 6-7, what's up, my guy? Kibu, what's good? What's good? Keyboard day one, man. He been following me for years. What's good, man? Nando, what's good, my guy? But yeah, man,
Man,
James
y'all
Pearce,
been here
y'all
today.
see it on, yeah, y'all in here, man. And if y'all can, man,
Mm-hmm.
retweet it or share it on Facebook or share it on any other platform that you can. But Ryan, what's up, man? I ain't want to be rude, man. I had to say what was up to the chat. What's good, my guy?
Hey man, I'm not mad at all, man. You got to talk about it because at the end of the day, look, we all thought it was going to be worse than what it was, but now all you can do is just sit back and just say,
Oh, freedom.
that,
Freedom.
that's what you got to say. It's freedom at this point. And for this cat,
Y'all ignorant.
but for this cat to get a second opportunity, look, don't muck this up. You got God on your side, bro. Because if she was vindictive as hell, boy, she could have hung you by
She
your
could have made
sack.
it ugly. Yeah,
Exactly.
She could have made it
Could have
ugly.
really made it ugly.
So at this point, the best part about this whole thing is he's got a chance to redo some things and he's got to just take care of what he needs to. We already know it's going to be probably 6 to maybe 9 game suspension. We already know that Roger Goodell is not going to let this slide. So
Nope.
at this point,
Personal conduct policy.
I'm look, now we just got to see what Ian gonna do, but I'm not gonna step on your toes, man. But thank y'all for having me in here today.
Hey man, that may have to be the name of the network. I don't know, ASPN.
Hey man. Hey,
I like that one.
hey, you know what? All we can do is just continue just to say,
Oh, freedom.
that's all we can say right now.
No, for real. I mean, all jokes aside, though, like I was
Yes,
saying
sir.
before, we don't know the details fully, y'all. Let's keep it all the way real. We don't know like the back stores, the back door, the stuff that's going to be in the discovery packs, and well, we don't know everything that's going to be said because it's not all going to be released. But I will say though, man, I'm happy that Miss that Miss Rakia Jackson wasn't vindictive. Like even when it was brought to her to say, "Hey, this is a possibility, and this is what we're thinking." Like she could have easily said, "Nah, for all the stuff that we went through, the 911 calls, all that stuff hit my car." She could have been a vindictive lady, and I'm
Mhm.
just glad that she wasn't. And hopefully, now first of all, two things. Hopefully, situations like this can be prevented moving forward as far as like on the men's side. Like we can't be doing this, like honestly, we can't be putting ourselves in this situation no matter what your bank account looks like. But
Mhm.
on the flip side of it, and again, I salute Miss Rakia, and hopefully like situations like that can um can also be like a pillar to like, hey man, things happen, people make mistakes, but to tear down somebody's career or tear down somebody's livelihood because they made a mistake or because it was, so they were going through some passion. Sometimes if it can be helped, let's see if we can try to move forward. Like, just perspective on it. And that's where I've been at the entire thing, just perspective. I've been saying that yes, it's wrong the entire time, but let's wait before we just sentence him to jail forever and all the stuff like that, like some people were saying. It was, at the time where it happened, it was a lot of things being said, especially if you go on social media, guys. I know y'all seeing some of the things being said. You just got regular people just out there saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna swing on JPJ, Jeff or Rakia," just all the crazy much that you're not fit to do. But anyway, regardless though, man, again, get back to the point of the matter, and that is we technically are about to have our pass rusher back. And here's the important question: how many games? Because now he got to go talk to Judge Gradell.
Well, you got to remember that we're not is what we would say, we're not the franchise that glamorizes like the Cowboys or many of these other franchises. But at the same time, we already know that we're held to a hell of a lot different of a standard. So at this point, like you said, Rakia could have been vindictive, but she chose not to. So I get it. Now, the other thing is this: was there anything from her past that possibly was getting ready to come up too? That's the other question. You know that stuff gets uncovered when you're talking about a domestic violence situation. Does she have a history of that?
I mean, you really just don't know, and that's why I was alluding to when I said we don't know really like the backdoor stories and all the stuff like that. We don't know, and we may not ever know if all those situations came up like that. But that is a different angle as well that we just can't overlook. I mean, we can't rule it out. We can't just say it's not a possibility, but that was kind of what I was alluding to. I just
Right.
was saying it in a different way. But yeah, Ryan, you're absolutely right. We don't know. Only thing we do know is the facts, and the facts are right
But
now
think
that
about
all
this,
charges will
Chris.
be dropped. Go ahead, Smitty.
Right, Chris. But think about this. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna let Ryan tell y'all what we talked about a couple of months ago on the show. Tell them about the Mississippi State baseball player. This is
Here's
the
the
reason
thing.
why.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Nah, the thing was, a lot of people don't know she played at Mississippi State first before she went to Tennessee State. I'm sorry, for the University of Tennessee. And she dated a baseball player that was there, and they had some issues. And the sad part about the whole thing was, of course, it got swept under the rug, and she left and transferred because it got bad, and she ended up going to Tennessee. And the moment she stepped foot on campus, you pretty much heard about it, that her and JPJ were off and on. Like, if y'all remember the old Method Man song, Make Up the Breakups, that was what they were like in college, pretty much. And a lot of stuff got swept under the rug because JPJ had some incidents at Tennessee while he was there. And that was what Mel Kiper and all those draft analysts were alluding to on his draft day when we took him. And they were saying that it's a risk. Now, at this point, we've already seen what the risk could be. Now, the question is this: what does Judge Goodell do? And what does Ian Cunningham and Arthur Blank do at this point? Because remember this, Ian's not tied to him.
At all.
Ian didn't draft him.
At all.
I believe he keeps him, but again, we don't know because we've seen Ian trade away first round picks before in his other previous jobs.
Yeah, man. And that goes back to what we were saying too before about nobody being safe. But again, I feel like honestly, this is like a safe thing for the Falcons. 10.5 sacks. You look at it, he's got to do his program. He's going to get some games suspended. I'm thinking no more than anywhere between 6 to 8.
I'm like Red. I'm saying 6 games. That's
I'm like 6 to 8.
Games.
Yeah, 6 to 8. But think about this too, though, Smitty.
I'm with that.
But think about this though.
Go ahead.
Think about this too, though. We don't know if this went past the draft. Let's say this. We didn't find out about this until like a week later from right now. For all we know, the Falcons could have took an edge rusher because they were unsure about what was going to happen. And this is actually to tilt the Atlanta Falcons.
I agree with that. But they always know what's going on outside of what the media know. They stay in tune with everything that's going on because he probably has to check in with them to give them an update every so often to let them know what's going on so they'll know which route they need to take going into the draft. So I know that they probably knew about this probably about a week ago. I mean, they've been getting updates daily probably for about the last week. So that's how I feel about it, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not denying that at all. I just feel like that was a chance that the Falcons possibly could have took a position that they like, man. And hold on. I'm not saying that the Falcons still may not try to take an edge rusher in the later rounds just because the heck of it. Because again, even if he is suspended from anywhere from, we'll say 4 to 8 games, because I see some people saying 4 games. So if it's anywhere from 4 to 8 games, let's say maximum is 8, and we have to miss out on him for the first 8 games, you're still going to have to have some depth and somebody to come in to be able to hold down the fort until he's able to come back. So
think about it. Elbaketi gone.
Yes, that's another reason why I say that.
Kate Ellis is gone. So that's 2 pass rushes right there. But go ahead.
And my thing is, at this point, we already know that Troy Anderson is, everybody keeps saying, oh, he's a project linebacker. At this point, put his ass down as an edge rusher. Use his speed and his size as an edge. That's a veteran. Put him as an edge because you got a big dude that, as I said before, yes, he spends most of his time in the Piedmont Palace, as we always say. That's what it is. But all I'm saying is this: put him down there while JPJ is out. Let him play that edge where he doesn't have to think much. All he has to do is go attack and set the edge. Pretty simple. And with Nate Ollie, I think he could get a lot out of him if they don't trade him away. I already told you I want Troy gone, but at this point, if we got JPJ serving that suspension, try out Troy at that spot because again, when JPJ comes back and if Troy is doing well at that spot, guess what happens? You have more depth for pass rushers. And you can let Jalen Walker be a little bit freer.
Absolutely.
I mean, I agree with that. Even though I don't like Troy Anderson at all, but whatever.
Goddamn.
Nah, bro, you
Mine's
already
gonna
know how I
be.
felt about that. I
It's the
never
two. I'm
wanted to
with you
draft
on
the
that
guy.
A1.
I
Oh
never
boy.
wanted to draft the guy. Man, look,
That
that is
boy
the
Chris
one
wild,
player
boy.
that I can say I never wanted. Like even when we drafted him on draft night, I was irate. I was like, "What in the world?" Nick Bonito was right there, and then he goes to the
I
Broncos. But whatever,
I hate to
y'all do
say it,
whatever
but
you want to do.
I agree 100%. It was too much talent on the board when they took him. I mean, he was a
Exactly.
project from the start, from a running back and quarterback, transition to a linebacker. Only played that for what, a season and a half. Oh hell no, you
Yeah.
don't do that. I mean, athletic wise, yeah, he probably IQ probably through the roof because he played the other two positions. But if he still got to learn, I mean, come on now, come on.
Now
John
I
Brooks got a
will give
quick
him his
question.
grace. I will give
Yeah,
him
go
his
ahead, go
grace.
ahead.
He had some of the best games I ever seen against the New Orleans Saints.
Hey, But
Oh yeah,
A1, but A1, that's one game we talking about, and everybody want to go off of that damn one game. Here's the thing: you passed on James Houston, who is an established edge rusher / outside linebacker for that. Hell no, you don't get a pass for that. And
Yeah.
Buddy still ain't, as I said, Buddy still stay his ass up in the Piedmont Palace. Shit, he got.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, he got property up in there. What you
yeah.
mean?
I mean, James Houston probably got
Real
about
estate
20 something
equity.
sacks. Yeah.
Real estate equity. The tender ICU room. That's where he's at. Hell, let's get him up out of there. Let's see what he gonna do this year.
Yeah. John Brooks got a quick question, man. He said he got a question. Do y'all think the Falcons draft Branch if he's still there when we draft? I'm gonna leave that one to both of y'all.
So you go ahead, Ryan.
I'll be 100 with you. Why not? We don't have a number two receiver, right? A true number two receiver right now. Yeah, Dotson is here, but you don't know what you're gonna get out of him because he's been up and down injury wise. At this point, you got to get you a defensive tackle right now. I get it.
Yep.
I love Branch. I'm a Bulldog fan, but you got to get a defensive tackle, or you got to get a tackle, pretty much another tackle, to replace your boy McGarry. At this point, you got to focus on the trenches right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
fact.
I
But
ain't
John,
gonna
what's
lie.
up, my guy?
I don't.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Chris.
No, I was
Go ahead.
about to say. Go ahead. What's up, John? But my answer to that is, I know that he had the whole arrest and everything going on, but I don't think that should drop his draft stock. I feel like if he end up falling to 79, I don't feel like that's a bad pick for the Falcons. Because regardless, that's going to be in the third round. It's going to be a receiver that you can use. You can use him in the slot. Certain plays you can possibly be able to put him on the outside because of his speed and be able to try to attack. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just looking at what can he do for the Falcons. I feel like he can do a lot. And you think about it too,
Agreed.
for those who are Georgia Bulldogs fans, y'all know, just like I know, he was underutilized. All the wide receivers there were underutilized in
Georgia.
Athens. So it's only certain routes that they had them running. Now I know some people can say, well, maybe they had him running those certain routes because that's all he can run. And I can get that. But on the flip side of it, it could be the coach just not being able to use them fully or not opening up the playbook fully. Because a certain set of plays he may have for a certain set of guys. So
you know why? You want let's put the real reason out there. The reason why you can't use the receivers the way that you use them is because of the fact that you got a quarterback that ain't worth 2 dead flies smashed. He's ass. He is ass. Straight cheeks. Let's be real. Steve Smith wasn't lying when he talked about that. The only people who got offended by it was those ones who love this kid that's a cow humper. That's pretty much what they loved. Let's just be real on that, fellas. Zachariah Branch comes from a hell of a bloodline of a wide receiver. When you talk about the legendary Cliff Branch, that was Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill. Speed, toughness, and is a Hall of Famer and got 3 Super Bowl rings. Rest in peace to Mr. Cliff Branch and is a Raiders legend. That is who trained Zachariah coming up before he passed away. So again, when you see Zach, you see Cliff wide open again. So if you know anything about that or whatnot with that legendary wide receiver, and I know Smitty, you old enough to remember watching Cliff Branch outrun Darryl Green in his prime.
I ain't that damn old now. Come on.
Come on now. You was born in the early 80s when he was still playing.
I was born in 79, but I didn't get into football.
He damn sure was playing at that time.
Yeah, he was still playing. But I didn't know who the hell he was.
Hey,
Keep it
man.
real with you. I didn't know who he
Nah,
was till I got to grade school.
Nigga
let's
said, "Don't be giving me years, bro."
but
I
Smitty,
mean, he
let's
got
be
through
real
by
though.
15. Go
But
ahead.
let's be real though. Here's the other thing he does. He can also punt return and he can also do kick
Special
return
teams.
as well. Special
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So if we
Third
do
round,
take
to
him,
me, to
yeah,
me, third round would be perfect
deal.
because we've got our major need in the second round, and then we get an added gift for him because let's be real, if he's what 2-3 inches taller, he's a first round pick easily.
Exactly. And here's the
Oh,
thing that most people don't talk about. The part where he's the best at is yards after catch.
yep.
That's what people don't understand. Like, yeah, they threw screens to him or whatever, but they rarely used him. But when they put him downfield, you actually saw that
He still
he can
made
go up
plays.
and go get that football.
Yep.
Go back and
But
look at the Georgia game that they lost to Alabama. When on that last drive, he made the most pivotal catch to bail out Gunnar Stockton. Think about that. He caught it between two
Yep.
defenders.
facts. But before
Kyle
we go on,
Humper is
man,
somebody.
go ahead. I go ahead. Go answer that right.
No, he asked what the hell is a cow humper? The starting quarterback at Georgia, Gunnar Stockton. We say that because he's one of those farm boys that just love his livestock. That's why we call him that.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah,
inside
I've heard
joke.
that a lot
My bad.
because my granddad actually grew up in the country.
Yeah.
But before we go on, man, y'all please go to A1 Forever, Birdcage LLC, and Smitty Sports Machine. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and also, man, while y'all in here, man, please drop them super chats. Super chats are always welcome, man. So y'all drop them super chats. But James Pearce, it seems he's headed back on the right path, and I'm just happy to see this because it could have got ugly. Like y'all have said in the chat, she could have been vindictive, but she wasn't. And you know, they give our sisters a bad name when they try to put all of them in the same class, but all of them not the same. Keep it real with y'all. All of them not the same. No matter what what they say, they not the same. But yeah, I'm just glad that they got things out the way, man. We Talk Hawks TV, man. Y'all go check them out on YouTube, man.
You,
Great Hawks content. Demond, what's up, my guy?
yeah,
What up,
man.
man?
That's me right there.
That's our big cousin right there.
Right,
Facts.
holding it down in enemy
Texas.
territories in San Antonio.
Man.
Down there in enemy territory.
He know about them cow humpers down there. For real.
Ah! Yeah, yeah. How in the
Hey,
world we
man.
go from? How in the world we go from free at last to
Hey,
cow humpers? I don't
back then,
understand what's going on anymore.
Hey, man, we mentioned the
Brian
quarterback who
started it.
pretty much underutilized Zach Branch. That's why I said it.
Brian started it.
That is crazy.
Oh boy.
Oh, Lord.
But
But all
Hey,
jokes aside, I agree though, guys. And honestly, all jokes aside, man, and getting back to the seriousness of it, I really hope that JPJ not only doesn't mess this opportunity up, but continuously to keep brothers and sisters, whomever around him, that is going to, what I'm saying, like make sure like this never happens again. Like even if you do, you know how like you have those people that they see you about to crash out and they kind of like intervene, or they kind of be like, come on, man, let's go hit the gym, or just something. You just gotta have that. I believe, what I'm saying, they always say it takes a village to raise children. Well, sometimes, it takes a village to just, saying keep people right, saying keep their mental right. Especially nowadays, you have men that go through mental things, women that go through the mental things, and they still have to deal with children. But who's there for the adult? So sometimes we gotta be a village for us all, what I'm saying, and also be able to find ways to, to have like that type of mental to just be like, we're not gonna throw everything away. We've worked so hard for it. But
facts.
I definitely do believe that it's important to keep, a group of people around you that can help, not only with accountability, responsibility, and just overall general wellness.
Facts.
Agreed.
And
200%. But let's
and
get into this next topic right quick. Go ahead. You can talk right quick. Go ahead. I'm putting it up.
nah, I wasn't gonna say that. I was getting ready to say, and we gonna give it a closing argument for JPJ's account like this.
Makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Oh,
Rest in peace to Johnny Cochran.
You know who said that.
What up, Anthony Savini? What's up, my guy? We just talked about James Pearce, man. Go back and catch it from the beginning, and then you can catch up with us. Be your brother, sister keeper. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But it's a hot debate. Shout out to my boy Tidy, man. He put it on his Facebook page. You know, I don't check Facebook because I'm not over there like that no more. But some told me to go over there and check. And old Eli Manning. And this is an interesting conversation because this is one of those conversations that you have to have because rings don't always tell the whole story. But Eli, he was reacting to a Falcons fantasy football page on Twitter that said Matt Ryan was a better quarterback than Eli Manning. People just worship rings. Agree or no? So I'm gonna ask y'all first. Do y'all think that Falcon fantasy football is correct when they said people worship rings? Agree or no? I start with Ryan.
A lot of people worship rings and championships or whatnot, but they always forget how great some players were because of that argument. Because again, Dan Marino doesn't have rings, but he's still considered one of the greatest quarterbacks to play this game. You get what I'm saying? I mean, hell, Dan Fouts is another one who's a Hall of Famer. You have Hall of Fame quarterbacks that have played in Super Bowls or have played in a ton of playoff games that have not won rings. They're still considered great, even without numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. This is my thing. Matt Ryan missed only 3 games while he was in Atlanta Falcon. Barely missed any time. Was an Iron Man. Won an MVP. Eli Manning didn't win an MVP. Dan Marino won an MVP. Dan Fouts won an MVP. You get what I'm saying? And when you look at the numbers, Matt Ryan got numbers that pretty much say, I'm getting in with a gold jacket eventually. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Eli fell into a situation where he performed, and this is what you're supposed to do as a quarterback with great moments. But when you have a consistent defense and a great running game consistently throughout your whole career, it takes a hell of a lot of pressure off you. He didn't have a consistent defense in Atlanta while Matt was here. And Matt switched coordinators consistently. That doesn't get talked about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Nah, for real.
Go ahead. I go last.
Oh no, I was just about to add on, piggyback off of the last thing that Ryan was saying. That's what about the defense, because remember I talked about that, Smitty, when we was talking offline, and I was like, well, one thing about it that I noticed in the Super Bowl runs, the Giants compared to that our Super Bowl run is the defense, and the Giants, they had a defense that was very formidable. They were keeping their offense right there in games. And we know about that because in games this past season, the defense were keeping the offense in the game.
You could not, Chris.
Feel like as far as being able to get the ball to the receivers and make big moments, I believe Matt had that. So it's just, that's where I'm at with it. Give Matt Ryan either one of those Giants defenses, and I bet you he goes and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all, man. To me, rings are, most of the time overrated. Because think about how many superstars in the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball that do not win a ring, but you put them up against anybody on any team, they superior. He talked about Dan Marino. I'll give y'all another outlook. The reason why I always thought rings were overrated, look at Robert Ory. Robert Ory has 7 rings. That's what, third or fourth all time between all players. And he was swapping around teams. And don't get me wrong, he made some big shots with the Lakers. He made some, good plays with the Rockets. But think about it. And I think he won a ring with the Spurs as well. So think about it. He was on great teams. And I'll give Eli credit. I'll give the Giants credit. One of those Super Bowl runs, they were 9-17. They just hit their stride at the right time. So the quarterback position is something that you need when you talk about numbers. It's all about numbers. When you talk about Matt Ryan, he actually to me is he could be viewed as a top 10 quarterback all time. That MVP solidified that. Like you said, Eli wasn't no MVP. A lot of these other quarterbacks were MVP, but you view them in the telescope as far as, like you said, Dan Fouts, Dan Marino, Joe Montana. He was on great teams. He had Jerry Rice, John Taylor. He had great coaching. How many quarterbacks can actually say they had a great coach to lead them somewhere? Because hold on. Think about this.
You said Montana. You forget how bad the 49ers were
before he got there. But exactly, coaching. Exactly.
But it wasn't just that.
About this
they
too.
were gonna fire Bill Walsh, dog.
Montana think about it. That. But think about this, though. When you think about coaching,
okay,
had the Falcons ever really put a coach in place and gave them the right team to lead a Super Bowl? Think about that 2012 team. It is no knock to Mike Smith. Mike Smith and that coaching staff just did not come through when they needed to. 2016. We always talk about Kyle Shanahan, but it starts at the top with Dan Quinn. Think about it. If we had a coach like a Tom Coughlin, which he had in New York, do you think that comeback would have happened? No.
Nah.
So it's a lot of factors that go into how great a player is outside of numbers. Sometimes it's the coaching, sometimes it's the situation, sometimes it's just bad timing. But I digress. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm sorry. I was just gonna get on the Montana argument because let's be real. No one knew. First off, no one knew who Joe was. Let's get that straight. Unless you were a college fan and knew his Notre Dame days. He was a backup to Steve DeBerg and was a 3rd round pick that no one expected anything from. Agreed. He learned the system. They started to play better in 1981 because the Falcons was kicking their ass in 80 when Montana first started. We were beating the hell out of them. And
those first 2 seasons. Yeah.
The reason why they became great was the fact that they had a hell of a defense. That defense turned the corner under Ronnie Lott and those rookies, Carlton Williams and pretty much
Keena Turner,
Eric. I always forget the guy's name. Eric Wright. That's the other cat. But if we're gonna sit back and talk about it or whatnot, let's be real. Montana was still figuring out the game. The moment that he really clicked was in that NFC Championship game when no one gave him a chance.
Right.
And he figured it out.
And sometimes that's what you need. You need somebody to bet against you for you to become the diamond that you are. That's just life. But Philip Bonner, thank you for the donation, man. He said people absolutely worship rings. Over time, it's easy for fans to forget or overlook just how great some quarterbacks were winning without a Super Bowl ring. A lot of things went right for Eli back then. And he's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of things went right. A lot of things went right. Because think about it. He had one of the best defensive players to ever play the game, Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, O.C. Umenyiora, those guys wrecked hell on that defensive line. And this is why I said what I've been saying lately. If the Falcons want to build an identity, it needs to be on defense. They said defense wins championships. Well, in NFL, defense do win championships. But guess what? You need a good run game, you need a stable quarterback, and you need a solid offense to control the clock. The Falcons have all that in place right now. So just keep building on the defense and make that strong. Everything else will fall in place. Just that simple. Go ahead.
Yep. And one thing you know, you gotta have
New York.
Say it again.
Remember, they tried to run Eli out of New York because you got to remember he was throwing interceptions left and right.
Yeah, multiple times they were. The one thing that saved him was that Super Bowl run.
Yeah, because Tom Coughlin actually tried to trade him. I know he when did he retire? 2018.
Okay.
He tried to trade him. I know at least at the end of the 2000s, around 2008, 2009. There were heavy trade talks around Eli, and it never came to come to pass because the front office did not want to move on from him. John Mara, for some reason, was in love with that guy, and I don't know why. But you look at numbers to numbers, and think about it. Somebody said in the chat, he led the NFL in interception 4 times.
Yeah.
Is that really a great quarterback?
First too.
Facts. So just think about it. That's why I said rings are overrated because if you look inside the numbers, Matt Ryan eats them alive easily.
Easily,
So
And
easily
Matt did it with a different coordinator every 2 years
every
of his
year.
career.
Yeah.
Think about it. Who's the longest tenured coordinator that Matt had?
oh, that's
Man.
yeah.
It
What
might
is
have been early in his career. Because all I know is I remember his prime years. It seemed like he just kept switching out, switching out. And
Because
then I know
remember,
we had Shanahan for like 2 years. But you think about it, it was like no more than like 2 years, and then a guy was gone.
we had Greg Roman at one point too as our OC.
Yeah,
right,
I remember that.
right. I
Roman,
think
Cutter, Sarkeesian.
Dirk Cutter was
Greg
the one
Roman.
that he had twice in his career.
Yes, yes.
I don't even know
That's who
why.
he had the longest in his career. But other than
Mhm.
that, we've never been able to keep an offensive coordinator longer than 2 years.
That dude couldn't even. I ain't gonna even say that. Go ahead. I ain't go ahead. Dre Mac, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
People don't see players when they don't play prime time games. Absolute facts. Because the only way you see all of them, you got NFL Sunday tickling. A lot of it's not going to pay that $350. But it said make the postseason or the Super Bowl. Matt did all three and made MVP. Help me understand. That's all we saying, Miss Dre. Numbers don't fit everything because if you're talking about numbers, Eli is a far worse quarterback. Because think about it. Trent Dilfer made a damn Super Bowl and won. Think about that.
Yep.
Brad Johnson was another one.
Yep. Saying and what do those guys all had in common? A defense.
Right. Another one.
Every last one of them quarterbacks had a
Jeff
defense.
Hostetler. Yeah, Jeff Hostetler. New York Giants, 1991. Phil Sim goes down.
That's a name I ain't heard in a long time. You said Hostetler.
Oh, Hostetler.
Otis Anderson led that team in the Super Bowl, ran the ball down their throat.
And remember, he didn't take over until pretty much Rodney Hampton went down with that knee injury right before the playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, that ankle injury before the playoffs.
It was like week 13, week 14, somewhere like that.
And OJ Anderson pretty much reminisced of his days back when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah. And he was what? He was about what, 35?
No. He was younger than that. OJ was like 32, 33 at that time when he took over. And OJ,
okay.
Yeah, OJ, the numbers he got, he supposed to be a Hall of Famer, and he got 2 rings, by the way.
Right. So I mean, see, look, I'm telling you, it's just so many ways you can look at this. And the quarterback is the most important position on the field. So they're going to look at the quarterback. But if you look at the entire thing around the situation, it's defense. Think about it. If our defense played the way they should have played in that NFC Championship game in 2012, we up 21-0. If they keep stepping on their neck, that's a damn blowout. We go to the Super Bowl, ain't no way in the hell the Ravens gonna stop us. I don't give a damn. They had Ray Lewis or Ed Reed. They not beating us. We had Tony Gonzalez, Roddy White,
Julio Jones, Harry Douglas,
Michael Turner. So just think about
remember, we had a fullback at that time in my man Snelling. Not Snelling, Ovi Mahaley.
Mahaley.
Right.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, we were gonna beat the snot out of the Ravens. I know that's easy to say now, but I mean, just looking at our team and looking at, and even thinking about and listening to the podcast that even the guys had, and just how they were talking about how they would have attacked the Ravens, I'm like, that's exactly how we would have beat them. Yeah.
And Harvey Dahl would have taken exception. I love me some Ray Lewis, by the way. One of my favorite players. Love it. Respect him. But guess what? Harvey Dahl would have ate his lunch that day. Real talk. I believe what's up?
Oh, yeah. My bad.
I said, if you ever notice, they put the most physical offensive lineman on Ray back in the day, you can neutralize them. You're not going to stop them, but you neutralize them. And between Ray and Suggs, I would have taken my chance against Suggs because Ray's the veteran and pretty much saw everything at that point and knew what to do. I was going to try to take the brain off of the defense pretty much with him, take him out of the play. And Harvey would have been the guy to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the offensive line. But, Ms. Drill, the reason why Eli Manning gets all of this credit, he played in a major city, a major media market.
Yeah, one of the biggest.
Yeah, if it is the biggest outside of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
But
that's
think
what I
about
said.
it.
One of the biggest.
When you talk about media market, that makes a lot because, like somebody said in the chat, primetime games. I think it was Midrill. She said primetime games. And you think
Mhm.
about major media market, those teams are always on TV if they bad or not. The Giants can have a 5-11 record and they'll end up with a primetime game the next year because of the
Yeah,
media market. They
The
know it's going to
Cowboys
drive
are
money.
another example of that because their media market is
Exactly.
huge down there in Dallas.
bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it really caters into that. Okay, perfect example. Not even dealing with football. And first of all, congratulations because more people will have their eyes on the team. But you look at the Indiana Fever. Every last one of their games is going to be televised on national television this year. That's more than the world champion Aces and more than other teams that have just as good talent or even better, possibly. And why is that? Because they
Because they
got
got a
that
player that can
shooter,
market.
Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark.
A
And,
player that they can market.
and it
Yeah.
goes back to what the media wants. The media wants her on television every single day. And some
I
people feel like
man,
Caitlin Clark isn't even all that. But regardless of what we think about her personally, it's all about what the media wants. The media wants her on TV. They look at her as must-see TV. And that's why,
hey,
regardless of what team
boy,
they play, you're going to see the Indiana Fever.
well, you
Yep.
just hit the nail on the head. And let me tell you why. We were 8-9 last year. We ended up with 4 major games this year. 3 primetime games and a London and a overseas game. Out of 8-9 team, they can market Bijan. Perfect example, Chris. Go ahead, Ron.
Put it this way, Smitty. If you ever go into BJ's and y'all look at the TV, Bijan Robinson is on the TV boxes now.
Yep.
Look at the TVs that they sell in
Starting
BJ's
last week.
and Sam's. He's on those TV boxes.
Starting
So
last week.
Atlanta's starting to get some kind of pub. Just saying.
And with him and with what they've been had going on with James Pearce, that's another thing they're gonna try to expose. They're gonna use that to put it on TV. Even though it's not positive, it's negative, they're gonna use that as well. You think about
Well,
Bijan, you think about Drake, you think about the Falcons as a whole, new coach, all this stuff he did in Cleveland, all that they're gonna factor in all that. And we're gonna probably have 2, 3, 4 primetime games again this year. But go ahead.
just remember this, fellas. Remember what happened with the 2000 Ravens when Ray Lewis got in that situation.
Yeah, man.
I'll put it to you like this. We're gonna hear some nasty things. Just understand it. We're gonna hear some nasty things that's gonna be said to this kid once he gets on the field with us. We already know it's coming. We got to do what they did. Use that as a rallying cry and beat the hell out of everybody. If y'all want to say, and I've heard it already, we've seen it on X. Man, y'all got a team full of women beaters. Okay, but guess what? We're gonna beat your quarterback ass too. So take that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how we got to look at it now. To
And
hell
then
with being proper at this point. Let's enjoy being the bad guy for once. Stop being the
Right.
good guys. Let's be the bad guy for once. Let's have
gotta,
some
you
fun.
gotta
with
have
it.
that edge. You gotta have that
Thank
edge.
you.
Yeah, but and the crazy thing about it, what's been going on this off season, and y'all might call me crazy, but some things I just see because I'm old enough to have seen these type of things before. What if he comes back and the Falcons make a deep playoff run? Who gonna have power in their face then? Who?
Let them.
Who?
It's
what's
gonna
up?
be it's gonna be everybody. Smitty, it's gonna be everybody that pretty much counted the team out. It's like, look, we honestly, let's be real. Some of us were wrong about the situation that happened with JPJ. You get what I'm saying? We were wrong.
Hey,
for that.
look,
Wrong.
I admit, I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna lie, and the reason why I'm telling y'all, I can own up to it because the way things were headed and the way the media was trying to twist and turn things about the camera and all that good stuff. Guess what? I drunk the Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'm right here with you, Smitty. I can sit back and say that I was wrong about the situation. I'm man enough to say it. But guess what? I said, and what did I tell you when I said it don't look good for him? And I said, I think the legal system gonna probably hang him unless he gets some money put in there. But at the same time, I said, hey, as long as he got on that logo, he's still one of ours.
Right.
Yeah.
regardless of how we all was talking about it, he still wanted ours. So now everybody getting ready to say, everybody getting ready to endure. We're getting ready to endure a lot of BS from the media this year. Period.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh
And
yeah, I
it's-
mean, my
and don't
thing
get me
is, it
wrong.
was going to be here anyway, though, family. Regardless of the
Yeah,
result of the
yeah,
situation, we were going to get some noise.
And it wasn't the fact that we turned on him. It was the fact that we saw what was coming. And we were just hopeful that he would get a second chance. Now, that's something that you can't say that none of us on this panel didn't say. We all said we want him to get a second chance, but it just didn't look good. But now,
but Ryan, every time we talked about it, we said, well, this not looking good. But at the same time, you got to hold out hope. All of us said that, because at the end of the day, none of us know what's going to happen down the road. Now, a lot of people
lied on. No, I was just reading the comment. It just popped up. How was he lied on? I know you say you were, but you can't really say that when you got evidence of watching him in that car. That was why I said it didn't look good. Yeah. But hey, God look out for babies and fools, and he ain't no baby.
See, Miss Linda even said, I thought his career was done. Because how can you?
I mean, that's real. That's real though.
But think about this. Think about how much influence the media has over a lot of this stuff that goes on.
Facts.
Think about that.
Sure.
If you think about the influence that the media has on the way people think and the way people perceive things, it could have went another way. And like Ryan said on the previous show, it could have turned out much worse than it did, because we always know what these cops allow us to do to young African-American males. Just think about that. So if they would have had more camera footage, body cam footage, this could have went another way, because that is the only reason why he got out the first charge. The body cam footage couldn't prove what they were going to say he did. Think about that. So we didn't.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just so glad.
Go ahead, you got it.
I'm glad
you're in the portal.
Go back to the incident.
You breaking up?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was like, go back to the beginning of this. I'm so glad that nobody pulled the trigger.
Hey, we could be having a totally different situation right now, talking about, he would have had a funeral probably months ago if that would have happened.
Yeah,
man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's bad.
The state of Florida and the way that, and no disrespect to law enforcement, my grandfather was a cop for 30 years back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Before stuff got off the wall. But knowing what I know, man, them cops would have been trigger happy if he'd even sneezed wrong. You know what I'm saying? He'd even sneezed wrong, and they would have found a way to get him up out of it.
Right.
You know, we and I'm not gonna make this political, but let's be real. We look at the face and the state of this country right now. I'm speaking on it being a former vet, and I know it's some vets in the chat. We look at what we fought for, and we're looking to see everything out here that's going wrong right now. And you're seeing people that are committing crimes getting off left and right.
Right.
In this situation, you know what? Get them some therapy, get them some help, because you got child pedophiles right now that are getting off and getting pardoned right now. That's as deep as I'm going to go. That's all I'm going to say. If they getting off and all this is going on, I'm not saying I'm with domestic violence, but at the same time, you got people doing much worse stuff out here than him.
Yeah. Like Melo said, this is second chance. He still could be suspended. He still will be suspended, but the best case scenario, has happened. And think about this. I'm glad he talked about, second chances. But this is what I want to see as an African American man and father. I want to see his goddamn parents step up. I want to see his parents I know he grown. I know he got $1 million, but you steal his mom and his dad. Put your foot in his ass. I'm telling you. Because if that was my parents, that's exactly what would have happened when I was younger. No matter how much money I got, they were going to still be my parents. They were going to still tell me whether I was right or wrong. Get him some help. And you remember me saying this, right? You remember me saying, if they had started getting him help when he was younger, it may have never got to this point. It starts at home. It starts at home.
And he got an older brother that's a rapper, and not major, but he's well enough to know he's well known around his area or whatnot. So you can see some of the stuff that's going on, and you can tell Romello, go to hell. My DD 214 says otherwise, and my check at the first of the month says otherwise. What's up, Squid?
But think about this too. This is a great point, Beezy. She said he better go before the throne and grace and thank God for a second chance. Absolutely. But that is the point that I'm trying to make.
Facts.
If your brother is a rapper and he out there in them streets like that and he doing things like that, but you see him headed to another path where he can make money just playing sports, when he know the media gonna have a bigger spotlight on him, you put your foot in his ass. I'm telling you. If that was my brother, that's exactly what I would have did. We would have just had the fucking fallout. Just being real with you.
Mills, that ain't true.
Hey, I'm telling you.
That ain't all true.
And look, Mills, I don't know how old you is, Mills, but I'm going to tell you like this. Growing up where I grew up on the west side of Atlanta, Bankhead, and I grew up with Shawty Low and all those guys. The drug boys, when I was growing up, and they see you had no business being around that stuff, they would throw your ass back to where you come from, and they dare you to come back around. When they know you weren't built for that kind of stuff, they would goddamn beat your ass and send you home, or tell your mama or your daddy, and they beat your ass till you get home. I'm just telling you. So in this situation, it needs to be like that. Somebody need to put boots to ass, sit down and talk to him, and tell him this ain't the right path to take. Facts. Fix your life. Find the right path. I'm telling you, because this is not the way. Think about how much money he could have lost. And he probably lost a lot of money because of legal fees. Just think about it.
And the sad part about it is it's not even that. Like, I think I was, and I'm not too much, I'm a little younger than you, Smitty, but I think I was the last to understand what it was like to have the OGs to pretty much check us, and they had their own way of doing it. You get what I'm saying? And it kept a lot of us from pretty much being in the back row of a cemetery or sitting in them white folks' jail.
Facts. Yeah. And see, the thing about when we were growing up, Ryan, and I, like I said, you're a little old, you're a little younger than me, but somebody in the chat, they my age and they know. If my mama didn't beat my ass, the next door neighbor could beat my ass. You can't do that no more.
And you're right. Like, when you talk about the discipline in the community, what I guess what made it tough was the night before he got into all this stuff, your mom pretty much put you on a pedestal and talked about how proud of you she was.
Right.
And I know that had to break his mom's heart for her to see that. And after you done said what you said, like, look, that's always gonna be her baby. You get what I'm saying? Anybody that's a parent out here, you already know, regardless of what your kid do, that's always gonna be your kid, your baby, or whatever. But at the same time, that had to be hard for her. But I wonder if she or anybody in that family or anybody who he respects and listens to has had a conversation with him and pulled him aside and say, look, if you can get out of this situation, you have a chance to rewrite your story at this point.
Yeah.
Period.
But I guarantee
you can't put yourself in a bad situation anymore. Like, you're not gonna get any more chances after this. You black, you in America, and bruh, no matter how much money you got, understand that you pretty much now are on a choker chain at this point. Period. Right. And we need somebody to have his back and talk to him at this point.
And I tell you this, and I don't know if his grandmother's still living or not, but that's one person you're gonna listen to if you don't listen to nobody else.
That a granddaddy.
But the thing, and granddaddy, the grandparents, just put it like that, the grandparents. Mm-hmm. If you don't listen to nobody else, you're gonna listen to them damn grandparents. I'm telling you is. I don't give a damn if they 35, 40. You gonna listen to them. But the sad part is they so young these days, they just as bad as the mamas and the damn kids. I'm just saying. But yeah. Oh, but there's a good point, BZ. She said, I don't expect him to be back this season. if he's in a 6-month program and suspension
I'm-
being served. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. Because if you got to go through the program, now he can do it, outside of football during the week, fly back to where he at, or fly back to Atlanta for whatever he got going on here, work out, do what he need to do, practice. That's a good point. Because if he going through a 6-month program, this is what, April right now?
Mm-hmm. He'll be back in October.
He'll be back in October. That's halfway through the season. So, I mean, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. And then he got a suspension to uphold. Ooh, boy, that's tough. But I will say this. I sacrificed this season as long as I got another season coming after that. He's still going to get paid. Well, I don't know, but I don't know how they're going to do that. With the Falcons going to do that.
And it depends on how Goodell has it, because he can suspend him a year without pay. That's something Goodell can do. Like we were saying, him being the judge.
Yeah, put him on the exempt list. That's that. That's that. Ms. Dress said, if you were aged back then, even the court system would give you a chance. It was jail or the military. I served with a lot of them. See, she telling y'all she a vet. She know.
And you know what's funny, Smitty? I'm like I said, I got in later, but the funny part about it is the ones that she talk about that she served with, a lot of them were the chiefs and the senior chiefs, and they moved up. I had 3 senior chiefs that was jailbirds. 2 of them was from Chicago and 1 was from Detroit. So again, they was jailbirds that went to the service and turned their life around. So trust me when I tell you, she ain't lying about that. But
I agree, Drew. Jesse Bates could be a great mentor. But if
I'm gonna give you somebody who could be a mentor for him.
If you look at Bijan and how he carry himself day in and day out, and how he talks about the Lord and how he talks about God, that's the type path you need to follow. If you want to follow somebody, follow him. Because we know his grandmama kept him under control. He talks about her on a daily. So you know he was raised right, and he shows it. You don't never see him in the camera all the time talking. You rather ever, only time you see Bijan when he's somewhere enjoying himself and he's taking pictures. And he's smiling and just talking in. You don't never hear no curse words. You don't never hear nothing foul. You don't never, see nothing negative. He's always smiling and being positive, and that's what James Pearce needs to be around right now. But go ahead.
I think JPJ might need, and I know it sounds funny, but it's 2 guys that I would say that I would let him talk to because they've changed their lives. One of them is Chris Carter. If you don't know about Chris Carter, the Hall of Fame wide receiver,
absolutely.
With the people remember him from Minnesota. Like I was born
Philadelphia days.
Yeah, his Philly days. Like people don't know he was cut from Philly because of the trouble he got in, and he had a second chance. And you saw that he went from troublesome to getting a Hall of Fame jacket. Period. And he changed his whole life. That is a guy that is a mentor to a lot of guys, and I feel like that's a guy that needs to talk to JPJ or a Ray Lewis, who went through a murder trial and got off and dealt with all the foolishness of people saying all kinds of stuff and being nasty throughout games. I feel like you need to talk to the OGs of the league that survived it, and they got gold jackets.
Yeah, because they line is always open. I'm trying to tell you right now. Always.
And they both men of God. That's the funny part. They changed their lives. After everything happened, they found God.
I will give you another one. Well, no, I won't. You know what I do?
What you got?
Keep talking. Keep talking. I got some. Just keep talking.
I know you were saying, and the reason I say those 2, you looked at how they went through court cases and situations. And, like Chris, he went through situations coming into the league. You get what I'm saying? With that, with taking money. And it was some other stuff that went on, and he had to sit in front of the Supreme Court, and he lied. He almost messed up his whole life, but got into the league and got hooked on cocaine and a few other things, and had to get off of that. Been clean for over 20 years. Ray Lewis, murder trial. Everybody around Atlanta, if you are under 30 years old, you might not remember, but if you 35 and above, you remember what happened when Ray got in that situation in Atlanta.
Right. And it was ugly. It was ugly.
Peace to the victims that were involved, and that whole situation was just ugly. And at this point, Ray survived that, and walked on to have a Hall of Fame career. His
Yeah.
his character
It's all
won't
about bouncing
always-
back. Yeah, character. All
his
about
character is
bouncing back.
always going to be in question with a lot of people because of that, but he survived it, and he's still a spokesman for the NFL and the younger players now.
Agreed. And look, as I said, he's lucky. Absolutely, he's lucky because, like we've been saying, it could have went a totally different way. And I'm gonna put it back up the tweet again for y'all so y'all can see it. But the key part in this, and a lot of y'all said it earlier, Rakia Jackson spoke to him after all this went down. After all of it went down, because like I told you, I was suspect from the start. Because when I found out about the money issues, about him giving her money just to date him, and that threw my opinion in a whole nother direction. And this probably one of the reasons why she not gonna pursue any further. Because he agreed to just leave her alone, let her be, and they go their separate ways. Everybody fine. He moves on his life, she moves on hers. Then let's talk about him. So maybe that's the way they looking at it. But I'm telling you, this could have ended a whole lot worse in more ways than one. But 6 months sound like a long time. But trust me, Christmas just left. Christmas gonna roll around again soon. 6 months ain't no time. Go ahead.
I'm just glad that he's not in somebody's funeral, pretty much in somebody's graveyard right now.
Agreed.
That's all I thought about was seeing another young brother that was being, held by all those cops, and he ain't no little dude. All I was thinking about was they gonna put him in the ground again. They're gonna put another one in the ground. That was all I thought, and thank God it didn't happen. I mean, we got examples of it, man. We got too many examples out here for it, and for him to be able to breathe and still be able to walk on God's green earth right now, hey man, that's a blessing in itself. So at this point, we just gotta be supportive of him. He's here, let him grow from this, because he gonna catch hell from all the media and everywhere else in the league. We need to be that supporting fan base. This is what I mean when I say us as real fans. You might not agree with it, you might not like it, you might not like him. But guess what? At the end of the day, while he's wearing that logo, you pretty much gotta support him. He's gonna need it, and especially in that locker room.
Facts. And that's where it goes. That's where most of his support gonna come from, his teammates. Because they
Bijan and Jesse called him their brother still. That was
right.
deep.
And they never strayed away from it. Anytime anybody asks a question about him, he's still on our team. He's still our brother. We're going to still support him. No matter what the media say, because we told y'all earlier in the podcast, the media can stray out and think certain ways and put people in a bad perspective. And we all know how, life is. First impression is the worst impression sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of what y'all heard. Y'all don't know that man from a can of lima beans. Y'all don't know him. But since the media said it and what they portraying to be, and I'm telling y'all, every game that we watch this year, they're going to bring it up one way or another somehow, especially if he make a sack. I'm just saying, this is just the media. That's how it goes.
And the thing is, we and I agree with a lot of what everybody has said in the chat today, and I think everybody has been on point with a lot of the stuff that they've said. However, the one thing that we got to also understand is this: there's people in the media, even in the local media, that's getting ready to pretty much give him hell the whole year and pretty much the rest of the time while he's here. Mark Zeno already said he getting ready to give him grief. He said he was surprised he got off, and he said I can dislike him and think he's a bad dude. It's an article on there with Mark Zeno. He said
that's his right, but at the same time,
yeah,
if you covering the team and they paying you, why do that? If that's a personal vendetta, why do that?
And he's gonna stick with it. And if you,
he right. He absolutely right. It is.
And you see, all I say is if you pull that up, you'll see exactly what he was talking about. I didn't even comment on it because it's like at this point, we already know that, some stuff that he does, I'll agree with. But in this situation, I think you put your opinion out there, and it's okay. But I don't think that this was the right time to do it, in my opinion. I
Right.
think you
Right.
need to let the dust settle before you start saying that you see him as a bad dude, and he made a bad choice, which we get. But give him a chance to fix it. Don't just
Man,
condemn him just yet. Give him a
I'm gonna
chance
be
to
real.
fix it.
If
Because
I'm the
people in the
player,
NFL damn sure swept that Ben Roethlisberger sexual assaults under the rug. He
oh
had
boy,
2 different accounts.
it didn't last no time. We
Thank
we found out 2 years later it happened at the Super Bowl too.
Exactly.
Think about that. He down here in Milledgeville, middle of Georgia, doing things like that because he thought he was gonna get away with it. Because he figured he dropped a little money, hey, this will be gone. But you just don't do that from the jump. But I was gonna say about Zeno. He a grown man. He can speak his mind. He can say what he want to say. But I will say this: if I'm Atlanta and he feel that way about a player that I'm paying that's helping my team win, I'm banning him from my building. Just being real with y'all. I wouldn't give him no interviews. I wouldn't nothing. Because one thing about that, when you hold those personal vendettas against players or people in general, you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you trying to ruin this man's career. Because you trying to spread a virus that might not even be true. Because if you willing to go the extra mile just because you dislike what he did, I get that part. But don't put those personal vendettas on this kid. He's still a kid. He's still 22 years old. He's gonna make mistakes. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him nowhere near my facility. I wouldn't even want him to call interview none of my players. Go ahead. See, shit like that.
You already know that he's going to be around. We already know that he's going to be around with.
Agreed, Mike. Agreed. Always on that bullshit. Always.
He's all. You know what I'm saying? We already know that he's going to be around. That's just what it is. But at the end of the day, he doing his job. And this is what I mean when I say this is what happens when you actually have real media around. A lot of people can't stand it.
Right.
Because think about this. Mark Zeno is a New York cat. He is from New York. So the way that journalism comes out up here, because I live in Philly. So
we just talked about the media market in New York, though. We know how it is.
The media market in the Northeast is ruthless. And he comes from that. And a lot of people from the South don't get it, because it's like we're used to having certain media members like Terrence Moore. He's from the West Coast. And he's brutal. You get what I'm saying? So
I give you another one, Jim Rome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the brutal media members that people don't like, they're not from the South.
No.
Now, when you had Dave Kindred and Furman Bisher that used to cover, I'm telling my age, rattling off them names. I know you remember them names.
You telling both of our age. You told mine with Terrence Moore. Hell, I read his articles in damn grade school.
So, and think about it, man. I remember I met Furman Bisher, God rest his soul. Very nice dude. And when you talk about that, you look at the fact that they were a little bit different when it came to covering teams because we pretty much this.
Whoa. Connect 101.
If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, partner. That's cool. But at the same time,
hey, man, chill out with that, man. Hey, this ain't the place for that.
Oh no, it's fine. He can express how he feel, but definitely won't say that if he saw me in person. Definitely know that. But it's all good. You're entitled to your opinion. It is what it is, my guy. But keep it pushing.
People like you that make it bad for us.
Keep it pushing.
Yeah. We just talked about that. That negativity, man. It just no place in the world for it right now.
Exactly.
I'm damn near 47 years old. You can speak your mind, but let me shut up. Chill out. I'm not even on that no more. But go ahead, Ron.
Nah, you good. It is what it is, man. But again, when you have media members like that, it's just what it is. A lot of folks ain't doing that.
Hey, man, we gonna give them another chance. Yeah, we all done something wrong, especially when we were young.
The question is, who said we wasn't giving them a chance?
Yeah, he get all the chance.
It wasn't us. It was Mark Zeno who said what he said. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, shout out to John Freaky. That's my guy, man. John Freaky,
Yeah.
big supporter of my show, man. Shout out to John. Go ahead, Ron.
Nah, you good. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna give him another chance. And I get where y'all coming from. Yeah, we see what y'all leaving out. Y'all tell a half truths. Y'all ain't telling the part where we said we don't know what's gonna happen down the road. We said that. We were just going on what the media was trying to portray to us, and that's what I keep telling y'all. When the media put something out there, you're gonna talk about it the way you know how to talk about it until you get further proof of what else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way podcasting works. That's the way life works. If somebody tell you something and you don't get the whole story, you're gonna comment on what somebody told you and what you know at that point. Think about it. Yeah, we also said it's still a chance he could get off, and there were people in the chat saying that. But it ain't no reason for y'all to get negative about it.
Nah, it's just the fact that somebody want to be. It's the fact that you got one of your members in your panel. I'm sorry, in your chat that wants to be right and want to talk tough over the damn internet or whatever. Guess what? It's an opinion, bruh. I said what I said, and I said I was wrong, and I stand on that. Now, the thing is, I was man enough to say I stood on that, and I don't have no problem with it. But one thing you're not gonna do is disrespect me up in here, partner. I'm gonna let you know that shit now.
Yeah, it ain't no need for that, man. You know, just let them be. I'm gonna say y'all want to get mad. I'm gonna pitch y'all out. I'm gonna pitch y'all out.
They can say anything online. Like, all right, I'm not. Look, we
not paid. One more time. Well, I'm finna talk about it again until the night over with.
Facts.
This came up again. So y'all want to get mad? Let's get mad. Kyle Pitts. We've been talking about this for 3-4 months. So tonight is the night. And here's a question. CBS Sports put it out there. And John Breach believes the Chiefs could pursue Kyle Pitts in a trade. He said the Chiefs currently have 2 first-round picks heading to the draft, and they will likely be able to get a deal done by sending just one of those picks. And think about it. There's another trade out there that I've been looking at, the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals could trade the number 3 pick for the number 9 pick and the number 29th pick just to move back a little, because Arizona has so many needs. And number 3 is a sweet spot because the top 2 players may be gone. And after that, you got the choosing of your choice. But the Chiefs have the number 29 pick. And what have I been saying, Ryan? If somebody at the bottom of the first round gave me a first-round pick for Kyle Pitts, I'm taking it twice on Sundays. And there's no knock to nobody who don't like Kyle Pitts, but think about it. If they can get a pick at the bottom of the first, they can either take the best player available at that point, or they could trade back and get picks, just like we did last year with James Pearce Jr. They could possibly get a second-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, and maybe a fifth-round pick this year. Get that fifth-round pick back. It's just so many ways this can work in their favor. But would you, shout out to Tidy, man. Shout out to Tidy, Atlanta Bird game. Y'all see it on the screen. Would you trade Kyle Pitts for a first-round pick? I'm going to just be real with
you. If you can get a first-round pick for him, yeah. At that point, hell yeah. Why not? We don't have one right now anyway.
Nope. And they said it gives a first by Kyle is go Gators over here. And that's the Florida Gator fans saying that. Keeble said, I love Pitts at the end of the day. For me, it's about the Falcon winning game. That's all we've been saying the whole time. That's all we've been saying. It ain't about one player. It's about a team. If this one player can transform your team, you're going to trade him twice on Sundays. And tell me I'm lying. If 2 years down the road, he not in Atlanta, you raising the Super Bowl trophy because of the trade you made for him, what you going to say then? What you going to say?
Can't be mad at that because, again, if you get a first-round pick for this dude, you like you were saying earlier, you have a chance to bring in a big-time player when it comes to fixing the trenches at this point. Because we all been saying we need a D tackle right now. you got to replace McGarry. You pretty much got to replace McGarry because he just retired. We don't know. We know Storm Norton is a part-time player, pretty much. He's a role player, but we don't even know what Jack Nelson's gonna bring to the table at this point because he's been hurt. So we'll find out this year if he's gonna play or not. But at this point, you can never have enough D linemen and O linemen at this point. We got to continue to keep building them trenches, as Ian was saying.
Yeah, and think about it too. This first round pick, say that they get 29th pick.
Mm-hmm.
They get the 29th pick and trade back 2-3 spots. You still get a first round talent this year. And with that 4th or 5th round pick, you possibly still get a player that slipped through the gap and fell in the draft because of some things like numbers didn't work out at the combine or the pro day, off the field problems, injuries, just anything. Because remember, as I told y'all, Xavier Watts to me was a bottom of the first, top of the second round talent. I saw it with my own eyes in Notre Dame. But since he played so many positions, like I said with Troy Anderson, a lot of players, a lot of GMs and scouts probably thought, hey, had he really transformed into a safety? This dude was an athlete. 13 interceptions in what, 2-3 years?
Mm-hmm.
In college. He had the talent. Fell all the way up to the 3rd round. 96 pick. So you tell me why you wouldn't trade Kyle Beasley, you get another damn Xavier Watts, or maybe 2 Xavier Watts. I'm doing that twice on Sundays. Falcon LTC, I appreciate you, my brother. You say y'all love, y'all always bring it. You guys bring all A game every day. Appreciate you, my guy. But go ahead, Ryan.
Nah, I'm just saying, we just looking at it like this. We got to put ourselves in a position to make the best move for the Falcons right now. That's really what it's got to be. Can't be it can't be no feelings involved. It's business at this point.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? You got a new GM in here that comes from 2 winning cultures and literally helped Chicago get back out of the darkness. So again, are you willing to trust somebody that's already won 2 Super Bowls, being a part of organizations and being a key contributor to those organizations, and also turning around one of the worst franchises? Well, it's a storied franchise, but it's been horrible since Lovie Smith left. But them turning around a once storied franchise in the Chicago Bears, would you go against that?
But hey, let's get it. He said, y'all believe KP is getting traded during the draft? I'm in the words of Miss Drill, like she said last night on the show. She said he thinks she think he's getting traded and she gonna stand on it. So I'm gonna stand on it too. I think he's still gonna get traded. It's one thing about the NFL and trade rumors. If they start from somewhere and they've been going on before the combine, if they start and you see smoke, it's a fight of that somewhere. And if he doesn't get traded tonight, it's because the trade fell through. And you're going to hear about it probably Monday or Tuesday. But if it don't fall through, he good as gone. Because think about it. Kansas City. Xavier Worthy, has he really worked out? Yeah, he okay. Rashee Rice, their best receiver, can't stay out of trouble. Travis Kelce. About to retire after this year. Mahomes need a weapon. He's a $50 million, $60 million quarterback. He needs weapons. And hell, they even need well, they got Kenneth Walker now, but before he got there, they needed a damn running back. So yeah, I still believe he getting traded tonight. But if he doesn't, hey, I'm fine with it. They just better have a backup plan.
Well, the question is this: which direction do they go? How does it happen? And what's going to be next at this point? Because again, you got everything lining up right now. That's just how that goes. Everything is lining up because next year is going to be the year that we have money and we have a ton of picks.
I go back to what I said earlier, right? You remember when we was doing the show it was about a week or 2 ago, and I said every position that they have that they need is in this draft, and it's deep at every position. Even though Ian Cunningham said defensive tackle is not deep in this draft, if you get your defensive tackle at 48, you already win the draft because everything after that is a luxury. Because that is one of the most important positions you should address. Because guess what? you address a lot of the other positions in free agency. The only other position that you have to address outside defensive tackle, wide receiver, and you done. Everything else is a luxury. Cornerback is a luxury. Offensive line is a luxury because guess what? You just signed a veteran NFL tackle, so you can wait another year on that. Because if you wait another year on that and go offensive tackle with your first round pick next year, you're gonna probably get one of the better tackles in the draft. And hell, who knows? If you get a first round pick, it could be one sitting right there.
Well, here's the thing. You look at the tight end class this year, it's loaded. It's loaded. You know, and the other rumor that has been going around now, I don't think it's gonna happen, but they've been talking about David Njoku. You've been hearing that, haven't you?
Yeah, and guess who coached him last year?
Stefanski.
The guy that's here right now.
So again, I don't think, and my thing is this: at this point, you're pretty much getting Kyle Pitts all over again with Njoku. Njoku might block somewhat better, but him and Pitts are pretty much the same type player.
Right.
And I honestly think that would be a waste to do that. But you know, hey, we're not in that room, we're not in charge. But that's something that's been coming up consistently.
Shout out to Uncle Steve, man. Go check out Uncle Steve Lounge on YouTube. Well, he says, Smitty, there were a lot of local radio hosts that made some "I don't want JPJ ever again" statements early, and they're backtracking already. I got the hypocritical receipts. And see, that's what I'm saying, Uncle Steve. They act like we were the only ones saying it. It was everybody. Even, look, anybody that you can come across, CBS, ESPN, Fox, anybody, this guy may not never play again. I didn't never say, I said he in a lot of trouble. We don't know how this going to end. We didn't. But again, I said I was wrong. I apologize. And hey, we're going to move on to the next. And you're right, Uncle Steve. Everybody was saying it.
Hell, Smitty, both of us said that on here. It's what it is. Yeah. We like, here's my thing.
We not perfect.
I don't have a problem with saying I'm wrong at all. Because guess what? I'm human, just like everybody else. I ain't perfect.
Right.
But at the same time, when you do what we do on this, you're gonna have moments that you're wrong. You're gonna have moments that you gotta say, hey, you know what? I was wrong about that. And move on. But you got some people that just hold on to it because again, miserable with their life.
Facts. Yeah, boy, you ain't never lied.
Like, you said this, you're this. Okay. Well, I'll be that for that moment. You'll be back watching again next week.
But think about it, Ryan. Think about it, Ryan. How many times have they ever got there and said something that wasn't true?
Man, half of them still be lying, getting their tax returns and their checks. What the hell we talking about?
Facts. Me Drill said, if we don't come up with a first round pick tonight, she'll eat a mayonnaise sandwich. Me Drill,
oh Lord,
I ain't ate a mayonnaise sandwich since I was about 7 years old, and I'll be 47 in July. That's how long it's been since I ate a plain mayonnaise sandwich. But if you from where I'm from, mayonnaise sandwich was a thing back then. Think about it. Well, look, I grew up in the hood. I'm telling you.
Hey man. And that like a good syrup sandwich. I couldn't do the mayonnaise because I still don't, unless it's on potato salad. But other than that, Smitty, just give me a good old syrup sandwich, man. Let me toast the bread. I'll do a syrup sandwich.
See, they don't see. Yeah, see, these kids, they privileged, man. They don't know about hard times, man. They don't. Trust me, they don't.
They don't understand a can of Vienna sausages from the corner store back in the day was luxury.
With a pack of crackers. Facts.
With the 50-cent dill pickle in a plastic bag, bro. They just don't get it.
Yeah, 50-cent pig feet too. The crackers in the pack, that was a quarter. Not the pack, the cookies, the frosted cookies, the slacks. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Beezus said she was mentally, and she said this on Twitter. She said she mentally prepared for Pitts to be traded, and we all should be. No matter what, think about this. No matter what happens tonight, traded or not, the Falcons gonna be all right. The Falcons gonna be all right, regardless of what happens.
Smitty, you know what I'm gonna say when you know what I'm gonna say if they let him go, right?
I told you so.
No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say it like this here.
freedom.
Hey, people gonna be crashing out like the Trey Young fans did, man. You know that's gonna happen. Look,
Yeah,
I love Trey. I love Trey. I love what he brought, but let's be real, man. He took us to the Eastern Conference Finals, and hopefully the Hawks win tonight. But let's be real, man. It comes a time where it's time to part ways with a player. It sucks. You love that player being there, but the thing is your love more so for the logo or the player at this point?
It's for the logo. And that's what we keep telling y'all. It ain't nothing personal against Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
It's just that he brings the most trade value. Even if you trade Bates, you're not gonna get a second round pick. For Bates, the most you're gonna get is a fourth. And that's at the lowest. And it could be lower, higher than that. Or lower than that. It could be a fifth or a sixth just to get off the contract. Tony, what's up, my guy?
I'm doing the draft stream tomorrow night. I'm not doing it tonight. We were supposed to have somebody to come on to the show. So we're gonna be doing ours tomorrow night when we're actually picking. So
yeah, so we
more than welcome to come through as always.
Yeah, we talked about that the other night. If I do one, I will come in later because I have something to do before that. But look, I'm telling y'all, it's whoo boy, it's gonna be interesting tonight.
I want to ask you something real quick.
BBG11, what's up, my guy? Go ahead.
I want you to, and even the chat can tap into this. So if we do get a first round pick for Kyle Pitts, if they were to trade him, hypothetically, since we're on this topic, what direction would you like the Falcons to go, and what player would you not mind coming to Atlanta in that spot?
We'll have a jump on the defensive lineman. So I'm still all in on Christian Miller. I think him and Lee Hunter, they still want A and 1B to me. It may be a slight reach for Lee Hunter, but Christian Miller, he's a first round talent. To me, it gives us a jump and then they could go in another direction. Chris Johnson is another one of my favorite players. That's a cornerback out of San Diego State. I can see defensive tackle cornerback because, like I said, we need a number 2 corner and we need a space eater. Both of those guys fill both of those roles. And if we get a first round pick, and if they trade back a couple of spots, you still get either one of those players. And with that second pick at the 48th pick, another one of those guys might still be available. So yeah, I'm going Christian Miller. Even if it's at 29 or 48, that's my guy.
If we going in the second round, I have to say, if we do get a first round pick, and I'm with you on there, get that D tackle or get a tackle at that point. You know what I'm saying? Either or. But once you have that second round pick, I'm going to get Mansour Delane if he's still on the board. That's the cat out of LSU.
Oh, no, he going top 15.
That's top 15. But it depends though. It depends, Smitty, it depends on who wants him, because if he does go, do you take Dalen Everett?
No, Dalen Everett a day 3 pick.
Yeah, I think he's a day 2 pick, to be honest, bro. Not a day 3. I think he's a day 2 pick because, again, you don't have guys running 4.2 speed and pretty much being a shutdown corner. He's just got a few things to tighten up on.
Yeah, getting their head around. That's it. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be honest.
Said the stage plank cookies.
Yeah, Kenny, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I ain't had them in a minute.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. But look,
strawberry.
if Delaney, if he make it past number 9 in Kansas City, it would be a damn travesty. Why? They don't have not one good corner on the roster. They just traded Trent McDuffie. So that is the perfect spot for him.
I can see Avion Terrell going to Kansas City, if you want to be honest. He fit their system.
Yeah, because it's the way he technically plays. Absolutely.
Yep. That's why I say he fits. He fits what Steve Spagnuolo does in Kansas City. He's his type of DB. That's why I said I hear what you're saying about the lane, but you got to also look at the fact that Steve Spagnuolo has a certain type that he likes.
Yeah. Miss Drill says she think corner at 29 if they trade. Joel said defensive tackle, wide out. L Dragon said trenches. Gavin said 48 Chris Johnson. That's where I'm at. Kevin, that's where I'm at. Chris Johnson, yeah, his tape pops. Um, I think he go to a top powerhouse school. He's a top 15 pick.
Mm-hmm.
But Tonio said, y'all think McDonald would be there in the first round if we got to trade with Kansas City? He'll absolutely be there. It's one team that I love that he could go to, but I think they go on offensive line as well because the Baltimore Ravens offensive line has been decimated by injuries and lost a lot of people over the last 2 years. So I like the guard from Penn State to go to Baltimore, but at the same time, McDonald fits exactly what they like to do. He's a space eater. He can eat up space, solid run stopper. And if you ask me who he reminds me of, Haloti Nada all day long. I'm telling you, same type skill set, damn near the same size. I think Haloti Nada is probably about 2 inches taller, but they had the same type playing style.
I agree with you on that, Smitty. I can see that. I just think it's so. I think it's so loaded talent wise in this draft with the trenches. Because you remember I said this a while ago. I said this is going to be a trench draft. Like right now, you have some great skill players out here, but right now you got to get your trenches right in this draft.
Yeah, and they got the perfect two people in the front office because a quarterback and an offensive lineman 9 times out of 10 they're gonna think the same because they see the football telescope through just a different lens. They played the game. And think about it, what did Ian say when he got him? He loved the trenches. So you may see a defensive tackle or offensive tackle at some point in this draft.
Now here's somebody else that nobody's talking about. Go ahead. I told you I said I'm through with them damn Clemson boys, but I'll be 100 with you. You got a chance to get a Peter Woods. That's another one that you look at if you can get it.
You got to make that move.
That's if he's there and if you're in that position to get him. And then the other cat that I keep talking about, everybody's fussing about, oh, well, he broke his foot. Man, you got to look at Caleb Banks out of Florida.
Man,
that's
I don't care about
the only gator that I approve from coming up. That's coming from a dog.
I don't care about no broken foot because guess what?
I had a mock draft for where he fell. I had a mock draft. Caleb Banks had fell all the way to the 3rd round.
And a lot of people saying that now. But if you even try to let him fall past that, you think he's gonna fall to 79, you wrong.
And Smitty, I'm gonna give you another guy that I give you another cat that and I did an HBCU show the other day or whatnot. Craig and a few other people was in there. I appreciate y'all, Antonio. There's a kid out of Jackson State by the name of Jeremiah Williams, 6'4", 330 pounds, defensive tackle. And that dude is a truck. You talk about Caleb Banks, this dude, and he a Mississippi kid. One thing you know about what come out of that state of Mississippi is toughness. If anybody know high school ball, college ball, the SIP produce a ton of players.
Yeah.
Period.
Facts.
Period. And that's a slept-on place. I want y'all to think about how many Hall of Famers have come out of that state. Think about that. And that's a small state, by the way. So I've been telling people, and Smitty, here's the other cat that I'm going to throw out here. Jared Washington out of South Carolina State, 6'1", around 190 pounds, 4'3" guy, 4'2" guy, and is a shutdown corner.
Yeah. You remember Durant came out of South Carolina State a couple years ago for the Rams? Look at what he's doing out there. You got to start looking at these smaller schools, man. You got to. Got to. Craig said Gerard Wash out of South Carolina State, my dog. Nation family from the Bird. Nathan says not a foot injury, a broken foot is just constant foot injury and knee issues back to his time in high school. And you don't want to hear that because guess what? Caleb McGarry just went through that same thing. He even had those knee and ankle injuries ever since high school. Heart issues. You remember he said out second half of the season, his second season because of his heart. So you got to pay attention to these reports. So, I mean, I would still love Caleb Banks, and if he passes, physicals and things of that nature, I think he'll be a great addition. L Dragon said we got to snag Cliff Branch. Ken on day 3. Yeah. And he may, even though he got arrested and they trying to mess with his stock, he still may go day 2. How much corner tackle versus defense tackle is in this draft? I think corner is a little bit deeper. Because one thing about cornerback is one of the hardest positions to play. So you're gonna always have the the slighted talent at cornerback because I mean it's a position of need every year.
Hey Smitty, I got a guy that you can bring in here, and like I said, we already talk about the big schools all the time. You know what I'm saying? You got the kid that's coming out of South Carolina, but here's another guy, kid named Jamal Sam out of Benedict. He played with Jared Washington before he transferred to SC State, and their head coach, Coach Barry, was the one. Who had them dudes, and like literally, you say you like a Brent Grimes type of corner. He's 6 feet, 6'1", 185 pounds, 190, and he doesn't mind hitting, and he can jump out of the gym. So it's and he pretty much plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's bigger than what he is. That's the best way to describe it, bro.
Yeah, Brent Grimes was a beast, man. One thing about Brent Grimes, I see him in person. They listed him at 5'10".
Brent 5'9", bro.
He 5'8" to me.
Bro, he 5'9". And what's scary about that is anything that Coach Channis Berry touches, well, he's talking about players, and I'm talking about he's got a history of it. He's got a couple of guys that's in the NFL and the Canadian League. All them dudes are physically tough, and they are mentally tough. And they all play with a chip on their shoulder, bro, and they're all fundamentally sound. So that's
Chris, you made it back.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If we don't, like I said, we're going to get the traditional trades, but the undrafted free agency market is what I'm truly focusing on right now. Just like last year.
I love to see the undrafted free agent because I for some reason, we always find a gym, but we don't never damn play them.
But here's the thing. As I said before, it's a kid out of Jackson State named Reed Pulliam. He's a linebacker. Nasty. Eric Hunter's gonna get drafted. As much as I hate to say it, because Steve Weiss.
It's gonna be interesting where he cut in.
A1, you sound like you're in the portal, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm out here running around the street.
But Smitty, and when you sit back and you think about it, bro, like there's some players that could actually start right now that's coming from smaller schools for us right now. Like start.
Right.
And it's scary to think about. And it, like right now, I keep telling you, like the kid out of Wisconsin, Riley Malman, offensive tackle, 6'8", 330 pounds, 325, 330.
They breed run graders. Wisconsin breed them kind of linemen. That's why I was kind of surprised with Jack Nelson. Maybe he needs more development, but he's one of those Wisconsin offensive linemen that I thought was going to come in and dominate in the run game. But
that injury is what slowed him down.
Yeah, agreed. And he had a concussion too. So I mean,
so that's what slowed him down. So it's not that he can't play because he's one of those guys that I would actually trust him. You get what I'm saying? But I think if you get a Riley Malman, or you know what I'm saying, or you get a Caden Barnett out of Wyoming who plays guard and can play center, that is something else that could help this team out too in the trenches.
Right. DBG say he off topic with this one right quick. But he said if Jordan Love gets drafted, it gets traded. I guess he's trying to say if Jordan Love gets traded to Arizona, will TA still be the starter? Oh no, he's saying Jeremiah Love gets drafted to Arizona, will TA still be the starter? I think they're just smoke. I'm gonna be honest, DBG, because they already have James Conner, who's just got extended, just signed Tyler Algier, still has Trey Benson. It would make no sense to draft him. I think they're trying to bait somebody to move up to take Jeremiah Love, because it just don't make sense for them to take another running back. They have 3 already. And I
ain't gonna lie, that would really suck for Tyler. Now, I ain't gonna lie.
He went down.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say they do draft him. I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna suck for Tyler, because even if Tyler is the starter, you already know they want Jeremiah Love to eventually be the feature back.
He right back in the same situation.
Yes,
He should
just with more money.
Yeah, he should
I
just
mean,
stay
he
here.
in the same situation with just more money.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get paid a good little penny. But as I say, he would have still got just as good a chance here with Bijan. Because I'm telling y'all, eventually they're gonna have to slow down on Bijan and give him all them carries. They're gonna have to. And maybe one reason why they brought in Brian Robinson. But I'm telling you, they got to do that.
I agree.
But what I was saying earlier, when we were talking about James Pearce, I was trying to get Abe to come in for a second and talk to y'all about how it is off the field. Just being with the media. He knows. So I'll try to get him to come on at a future date. But Miss Pam, what's good? What's good, Miss Pam? Happy draft day.
Happy draft day.
But go ahead, Chris. My bad.
Oh shoot, man. I didn't necessarily have anything really to add, bro. I mean, I feel like, we just gotta sit back and wait for the games that James Pearce Jr. is gonna get. I honestly feel like that this is one of those old happy day moments because hey, I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, it is for multiple reasons. It is for multiple reasons, and it's not just dealing with the football team. I mean, regardless, James Pearce Jr. gets another opportunity to possibly, rewrite his story, you know what I'm saying, and to make things correct where they were incorrect. He'll get the help that you need, and there is still a chance that you never know. In 20 years, James Pearce Jr. could be one of those guys that's standing up there talking on that podium, talking about this situation right now and how it changed his life. At least there's the opportunity for it. Not saying that it's guaranteed. So, I mean, you got that. Of course, we got our pass rusher, 10.5 sacks. He's going to miss some games, but you prefer to have some games missed than, him to get jail time for a significant amount of years, type stuff like that. So, and then ultimately, too, going back to Miss Rakia, showing that she didn't have to be a bitter person. And even my thing is, even if she did want to be a bitter person, I know there's been people out there that have been like, hey, it's warranted. But I'm glad that she didn't take that road. I'm glad that she also agreed with the program with Florida so James can be able to put this behind him. So I'm glad that, for all parties involved, everybody's going to be able to move on.
Well, you got people, you know what? You got people out here celebrating like Fabo at this point. Hey, folks out here cheering. Folks out here celebrating, boy.
Yeah, man. I mean,
agreed, Chris. Agreed. Go ahead, Chris.
Nah, for real though. I was just about to say that. Yeah, he needs mental support and counseling, and that's what I said before about sometimes we got to have a village that's there for the adults too.
Yeah,
I think he just needs somebody to put their foot in his ass one good time. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, that's what it is. But
let's be real. We need tough love here in the
chat. I dropped the poll in the chat. Do y'all think Kyle Pitts is gonna get traded today? Yes or no? Drop them votes. Drop them votes. But go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just gonna say, shoot, I'm enjoying the fact that now we get to see people. Let's put it this way. I'm noticing this, and this is just what it is. At this point, we all need to be together, but it's always going to be a divide between Falcon fans with something that go on with this team. It's always going to be a divide, and we're going to always fight amongst each other because we seeing that right now. We see that right now.
Gonna never change.
So at this point, we just got to accept that we're like the Hatfields and McCoys, man. The difference is we got all our teeth, and some of us don't drink moonshine.
Miss Christie, what's good? What's good? Yeah, I put a poll up on the screen. I think y'all voting on it. I see it right now. It's a 100% right now. So y'all can keep dropping them votes. And if y'all catching the replay, drop the votes as well. So
right.
Yeah, another great pop-up, man. We had to come talking, y'all. It's gonna be draft night, and people gonna be do shows, but I don't think if I join somebody's show, we'll see. Cause like I said, I have a lot going on right now. Brandon, what's good, my guy?
Don't worry, Smitty. We'll be doing one tomorrow when we pick in the second round.
Shout out to Miss Christie, Miss Pam. They on the Lady Birds of AFN. along with Miss Maggie, man. Y'all go check them out. Go check them out. Madrid said he gone, like you said, unless the deal falls through. I'm just saying.
Hey man, I don't told you. I can't believe it until I see him trotting out there week 1.
Because
Yeah.
he wasn't. If he's supposed to be a main piece and a big time player, he would have been with the uniform reveal, and we didn't see that. That should be a telling sign.
Yep. Facts.
Remember they did that with Julio.
Yep. Shout out Nathan Floyd. He said they celebrate like you already won. The Chargers are only dismissed upon completion while not getting into any trouble over the next 6 months. That's a long time for somebody who can stay out of trouble.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. All you gotta do is go exercise. All you gotta do is go train, do his program, and carry his black ass in the house.
Yep.
And keep out of trouble for 6 months. That's not hard to do.
And no disrespect to nobody. Stay your ass away from women for a while. Chill out.
Focus on football.
Chill out.
I really think you need to chill out.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, women are still going to come his way just because he's James Pearce, and then that's going to go. But yeah, I think it's just time to really just focus on football and your mental health and staying out of trouble, man, right now. But of course, do what you want, but just don't make sure you get yourself in any kind of other situation. We don't want to hear shoot anywhere mid-season. Oh, James Pearce Jr. Just we don't want to go through that, man.
No, but we done been almost 2 hours. So what we gonna do?
Yeah.
We're gonna y'all drop some questions for the next 10 minutes, and we'll go off of that for 10 minutes, just even 2 hours. So y'all just drop questions in the chat, and we'll just go off them questions.
Yeah, I'm about to have to jump off real quick. Man, my doggone phone overheating, and I gotta get these directions.
Man, we don't need your car to catch on fire. Chill out.
Hey man, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the phone would explode, and I don't need that either. So I'm gonna go and hop off here, man. But y'all have a good one, man. And like I say, A1 Forever Sports platform on YouTube, Hawks Digest, of course. Let's get ready for the draft, and let's get ready for a playoff game for the Atlanta Hawks at home tonight. So y'all make sure that y'all tune in to everything is revolving around Atlanta, and be with y'all in a minute.
Yeah, facts. I'll holler at you
in a minute.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, Pam, he got to surround himself with, mentors and, positive people. And don't get me wrong. If you young, you done been there. Can't nobody tell you that. Sometimes you got to learn things the hard way. But at the same time, somebody next. Go ahead.
I said it might have not been domestic violence. Maybe we might have did something else that was stupid that could have got us killed or put in prison.
Right.
And we out.
Right. We done all been there. And y'all can't lie and say y'all ain't. Because when we were young, we done made mistakes.
Sometimes some of the mistakes that, as I said earlier, God looks out for babies and fools. And none of us are infants at this point.
Yep. TMZ, that's what she called me, man. I've been Smooth Smitty for about a year and a half. I may change it up a little bit every now and then, but TMZ might be my next nickname.
Hey man, make sure you cash that in.
Craig said Kyle Pitts to the Chiefs or the Broncos.
Lord, don't let him go to Denver. No.
Yeah, Sean Payton liked them athletic tight ends. I could definitely see that. Yeah, I remember Jimmy Graham back in the day. Boy.
Could you imagine if we get a rematch if he go to Denver and we go to the Super Bowl and we got to play them?
Yeah, it'd be ugly. STL said was trying to make the 53-man roster as a special team player and as a backup. So yes. I think like Ryan said earlier in the show, I would like to see him much more as an edge rusher. Because his size is 6'4", about 245. He could play edge. And Berto actually said that a couple of years ago. But yeah, as a special teams guy. Yeah, as a special teams guy, he definitely gonna make the roster.
Yeah, like as a linebacker, he thinks too much. Like as a linebacker, you have to know. It's pretty much a process at this point. You know what I'm saying? And for him, You don't want him to think. You want him to use his size and his speed. Put him as an edge rusher.
Right.
He can set the edge. Not too hard to think about. And
8-2 said defensive.
let Jalen Walker become an outside linebacker and use that speed and God-given gifts that he's got instead of having him as an edge.
Yeah, off ball. He best at, just lining up in.
Yeah, he's dangerous as an off-ball defender.
Yeah. He like Michael Parsons. You line him up anyway, he gonna produce. 8-2 said defensive tackle or receiver. I'm sticking to Christian Miller. Whether it's end of the first or 48, if he gets there, I'm definitely going Christian Miller or Lee Hunter. Yeah. What you going? Tackle or receiver?
I'm either going defensive tackle or offensive tackle at this point, bro. Because again, Jake Matthews is getting old. You gotta have his replacement in the building as well. You get what I'm saying? So at this point, I'm either going to bring in. I know I'm bringing in a D tackle, but I'm thinking offensive tackle. If we don't go D tackle, you gotta have his replacement in the building at this point.
Facts. DBG said, according to multiple sources connected to the Falcons, defensive tackle and wide receiver will be the first position. Defensive tackle being round 2, and round 3 will be wide receiver. But with Ian, you never know. Absolutely, we don't know. Kyle gets straight up. You guys gonna do a pop-up show? Probably not. I probably just do a quick long form video, probably about 5 to 10 minutes. But man, yeah.
What? Wait a minute. You say what, Smitty?
I probably do a pop-up show. I'm in a long form video.
Man, please. I'm telling you.
5 to 10 minutes.
Hey.
But I mean, hey, you never know. I know Chris like, man, they're gonna do live real quick.
If he ends up getting traded,
I'm doing a pop-up show.
Smitty ain't gonna do it. I'll do
it. She gonna rub it in their face.
Look, I ain't gonna rub nothing in nobody's face. Listen,
man, whatever.
I'm such a humanitarian.
That lightning gonna tear your ass up in a minute.
You say who?
Miss Linda, that lightning gonna tear your ass up in a minute. Miss Linda. I'm gonna just say I don't know. Cause I know Chris, he'll text me, man. Let's jump on live real quick. So I don't know. But yeah. Y'all think the Falcons will take a linebacker this draft? I hope so. What I've been had in my mock draft is the last pick, and there are going to be some guys on the board in that last round. But again, too, think about this: there's still free agents out there that they can sign. They have 21 million or 19 million in cap space, so there's still some free agents out there they can sign. And Tonio, you gave me an idea. Since we don't know what they're gonna do at linebacker, I might put another free agent linebacker out there. So yeah, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dirty Bird, he absolutely better get a video game.
Here's my thing: if they take a linebacker, I'll be 100 with you on this. I think if they do take a linebacker, I think they're going to get somebody in the undrafted side. And I gave you I gave you 2 linebackers right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? I gave you 2 of them off the rip. One of them possibly is going to get drafted when you talk about Eric Hunter out of Morgan State. The other is Reed Pulliam. And he's played in Atlanta. And and what's funny is the Falcons were at the Celebration Bowl watching him play when he was dominating. So again, that is a guy that you don't have to spend a draft pick for. This is if they don't draft him.
Yeah, if they go undrafted, he could be one of those guys.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of diamonds in that undrafted side, bro.
Yeah. And shout out to Red Murder out from Buffalo. I know my boy Clint said he don't think he'll be a fit with the Falcons, but boy, as a special team, as a situational linebacker, Red Murdoch, Rick Hill, 17 forced fumbles in his career in college, beating out Khalil Mack's record. Oh yeah, a day 3 pick or undrafted free agent. I'm going for it. What do you rank our offensive line? It's still top 5. It's still top 5 until somebody changes that. It's still top 5. Strong running game. I think with Jawan Taylor coming and see one thing that I'm still looking at. Bill Callahan is going to be the key to this Falcons offensive line, no matter if we like it or not, because he's one of the best teachers in the game. So if we have a deficiency on the offensive line, he's going to fix it. We talked about Ryan Nuzia. They probably brought in Corey Levine. So when you look at the center position, it's not that strong. But when you got the right coach coaching your offensive line, hey, it's gonna be all right. Well, I'm still say top 5 because of what we've done with the run game the last 5 years. We've always been top 5 in the run game. That's what this offensive line is built for. Now it needs to be a little bit more balanced because of the left-handed quarterback that we have. So, I go top 5. What you say?
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that top 5 or whatnot. It's just the pass protection we got to get better at. We can run on anybody. That's not a problem. We can run on anybody. It's just the pass protection we've got to get a little bit more. We've got to get a little bit more efficient with, because we watched the franchise quarterback go down with a knee injury last year.
Facts.
And that wasn't good because we didn't have the depth of the offensive line that we were supposed to have. And everybody was saying that we were going to be fine with what we had, but that was BS. But again, I really believe the biggest acquisition of the offseason, the 2 biggest acquisitions of this offseason, whether y'all realize it or not, was retaining Nate Ollie and bringing in Bill Callahan. Those were the 2 biggest acquisitions.
Yeah. Well, I told y'all last year, Nate Ollie was the reason why this damn defensive line turned it around. Because if y'all remember back in 2016 when Brian Cox was here, he had the same type impact. He blew up on one of the players, and that's the only reason he lost his job.
Yep. So, and to me, I feel like we needed that.
You need them kind of players. You do. Ms. Pam said defense or offense.
No, that's the offensive lineman. She's talking about Kalen Rutledge. He's an offensive lineman.
Rutledge. Okay,
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an offensive lineman.
He's the guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Georgia Tech. Yeah, a run grader. Just what they like to do. And
now,
we need depth at guard. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you this, Smitty. Now, we were talking about Pitts being traded. Nobody's talking about Josh Simon, a forgotten name. People will get to know that name very well. Because here's the thing. Simon is supposed to be, Pitts is supposed to be what Simon is, if you really want to know the truth. Like, Simon didn't get the numbers that Pitts did at Florida, but he was definitely one of the best tight ends coming out in that draft, and we got him as an undrafted free agent. So if they don't draft anybody, he definitely fits what Kevin Stefanski does, because that offense they run at South Carolina is exactly what Stefanski likes to run. So what I'm saying is you got a guy in here that understands that. And then the other thing is this. Say they trade him away and they can grab an Oscar Delp to go along with that. I'm just saying.
Not on him. We threw out the other night Justin Jordan from NC State. That was one of the most visited schools that they had. Yeah. So I mean, there are replacements. Go ahead.
And Ms. Pam talked about Nowitzki out of Nebraska / Indiana. He played at both of them schools. So what I'm saying is, it's a ton of talent at tight end in this draft.
Yeah, he's a freight watch check type player. Definitely is. DBG11, appreciate it, my guy. I reached 16,000, y'all. I'm trying to get 25,000. So look, we're gonna keep rocking until I get there and beyond. But yeah, 25,000 is my goal. I finally reached 16. So thank y'all. If y'all have subscribed, and if y'all ain't, if y'all tuning in right now, thank y'all. Also thank y'all for the super chats. Truly appreciate it. And look, been another great show. But I got to answer this one right quick with my boy DBG. How good would you think Dotson will be here? I think he'll be absolutely fine. He's an elite receiver to me, coming out of Penn State. He just hadn't got the right opportunity in Washington because of McLaren. In Philadelphia, he was, a fourth or fifth. So he just needed a chance, just like Darnell Mooney. That first year here, I just knew he was going to be here for a couple more years. But I think Dotson, he can have that same type impact in his first year. I mean, Pam said he can play center and guard, and that's true. He's an interior lineman.
Healthy.
Just got to stay healthy. That's it.
Because that's been his issue the whole time. It's not that he can't play; it's the fact that he can't stay healthy. Because again, what good are you? What good are you on the field if you can't stay healthy?
Yeah.
You're pretty much just like a bench player. You don't contribute.
Yeah, he has elite hands. Thank you, Miss Drea. Miss Pam, thank you. But you just gotta stay healthy. I think Dotson can. I think he can. But yeah, man, another great pop-up show, man. Shout out to my boy Chris. He's out in the field working, man. So shout out to him. Ryan, tell everybody where to find you.
Hey man, you can find us over at you can find myself and the magnificent Birdcage crew at the Birdcage LLC channel on YouTube and X. Also coming up, we were talking about HBCU prospects. Y'all can check that out. Did a show on that on Monday. And speaking of one of those prospects we talked about, Smitty, we got Curtis Allen, the Harlan Hill Award winner, first player in HBCU history to ever win that award. And he's going to be coming on to the show coming up May the 7th. So I got an interview with him May the 7th. So we got
please check that out.
Yeah, because this is one of the guys that I highlighted that the Falcons can get for running back depth. And I'll put it to you like this. He's one of the nastiest to do it at that level. He reminds you of an Edgerrin James. But don't take my word for it. Go ahead and look up his film. But thank you for having me on, Smitty. I appreciate it, my brother.
But see how God work when you do stuff like that and they check it out. Hey, guess what? It comes to fruition because I'm telling y'all, D. Offer, when he got drafted by the Falcons, he saw my video profile on him, and when they signed him, he said it motivated him for his whole rookie season. So, I mean, look, you just don't know what kind of effect you can have on people. And Ryan bringing him up and doing a profile on him, I mean, look, he probably one of the very few to do that. That's one thing I can say about Ryan. He supports the HBCUs because he knows that's where the talent is at. We just don't get the exposure like we used to back in the 70s when guys like Deacon Jones, who else? Claude Humphrey,
Mel Blunt, Claude Humphrey. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, look, I'm telling you, it's there. It's still there. But because my good friend, man, his son plays baseball at Savannah State. And I'm telling y'all, that boy, he tough. Shout out to Fink Jr.
Yes,
he tough, man. I'm telling y'all. But yeah, man, another great show, man. Thank y'all again. Thank y'all for the super chats. Y'all know where to find me, man. Tonight is draft night, so y'all get hyped. You know, I know we don't got to pick tonight, but I'm gonna still tune in because I got to get my thoughts on the winners and losers because I know somebody's gonna make a mistake going to and reaching for somebody. And I'm trying to. I want your opinion on something. I know Sonny Styles. He's gonna be a top 10 linebacker.
Yeah.
What does his brother get drafted?
I think his brother's gonna be a high second round pick, in my opinion. And I think he could be a late first rounder, but I know for sure he's gonna be a day 2 guy that's gonna be gone.
It's funny though, because I've been seeing him fall into mock drafts in the 3rd and 4th round.
He's gonna be a day 2 guy, Smitty. When you look at the film, he jumps out off the film, and he's just one of those guys that can be very dangerous and somebody will use that talent to do something with it. Trust me, he's worth that pick.
Yeah, I could see Philly. Philly, that's a Philly type pick.
Or a Washington type pick.
Facts. NFC East, just put it like that. They all play the same. But yeah, man, find me on Twitter at fatboyslim_21. Always over there blowing that thing up, man, because that's what I do. Also catch me on Smitty Sports Machine right here for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. I did a James Pearce short before I came on. Check that out. Them shorts been blowing up lately, so shout out to y'all, man, for blowing them shorts up, man. But we're gonna go and get out of here, man. We've been on here 2 hours and we done ran out of breath. And thank y'all for tuning in, man. We're gonna holler at y'all later, man, because the draft later, so we'll see what happens. But if Kyle Pitts get traded, I think I will go live. So I might be on Ryan. I don't know. But if he gets traded, we'll be back on. Peace.
Yeah.